Amu ina akwaba at the bank assertive for the case between Honorable Kwabena Edu Boahen, the National Security Board versus the State Native for Pemana Epim so anya asem ketwa. Native for finally the former Minister for Defense Ababontin at the Nesa Betudra for anya asem ketwa chechim sesima ekoso kotono. Enchebia na the Attorney General Dominic Akotinga Ayine Betudra Sentino. Kwabena Edu Boahen ewie sika bese 49 million Ghana cedis asem ketwa de baby foreign account ni hu niamaniama na finally for the former defense minister so sa ababontin ni sama betudwa echechemu tifo enim se nokra bia was asem ni na ebepi enitimo kam hu na kodi sense mu ntwemu mbra damu ina
your client transferred just 1 point something and the rest they couldn't trace it. It was rather transferred into his private account. That was the basis.
You see, do you know who should come and interpret this? Kandapa. So when you sit down there and you are wise after the event, this is what you think you should do. But do you know what they were trying to do with the operational account? Have you heard anywhere in the world that people will discuss operational accounts of national security? Are you not going to educate the national security that why didn't you go X or Y? What kind of indiscretion is that?
I'm sure you want to ensure that your client gets a favorable ruling, as it were, or judgment from the court. Have you spoken to the former National Security Minister, Kandapa, yourself?
I have. Why not? He's a very critical individual in the matter.
And he has explained to you why your client did what he did?
Yes.
And you think that is justifiable?
Why not justifiable? Right now, who should be the complainant? Is it not Kandapa who should say that Boahen was a rogue, security operative, and while I was there, he was stealing money. And now you come in there, you want to do your final post-mortem, as if you want to second-guess Kandapa.
But won't that implicate him? Because if you look at the National Signals Bureau, it works with the National Security Council.
Look, can you divorce the Signal Bureau from the Minister for National Security? Can you divorce their office? Do you know the one who superintends over all the affairs of national security? He's a minister. This is just, excuse me to say, an appendage of the system. So you think the minister is deprived of power to superintend Kwabena Edu Boahen?
Let me get you correctly. Are you directly saying that if Edu Boahen is being tried, perhaps Kandapa should also be interrogated in the midst of this because everything was done in conjunction with his office?
You see, don't you think the investigation is sitting upside down that you wouldn't want to call Kandapa first? In fact, the first prosecution witness, if this is a crime, should be Kandapa.
How do you know the Attorney General doesn't have it in its pocket, as it were, to call Kandapa?
But the trial is on. They've said they are holding 3 witnesses. We know the witnesses. Kandapa is not one of them.
You talked about, and so you're challenging the Attorney General to call Kandapa if indeed he wants to have a proper case. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I wouldn't want to tell you the tactics I will use. But whoever should exonerate Kwabena Edu Boahen, I'll call to come and exonerate him, if we come to that point.
You talked about the fact that the approach the Attorney General used in arresting your client, you describe him as a senior national security couple. That's what you said.
That is who he is.
And he shouldn't have been arrested at the Kotoka International Airport like he did. Let me read to you a bit of what the Attorney General said in that press conference. He said that your client seemed to throw dust into the eyes of investigators by buying tickets to UK and then to Dubai and suspecting surveillance put a stop order, or a stop order was placed, leading to him being arrested. How do you interpret that?
Does it make sense to you that a man is playing with tickets to avoid arrest? Then he comes into the Ghanaian space. I mean, that's an absurdity. The man who is trying to run away from justice comes into a place where he can be arrested.
The interpretation is that I've traveled, and so your attention will not be on the fact that I'm even back in the country.
But why did he come to Kotoka International Airport? Preposterous. Why did he? The man who is hiding his travel itinerary from the investigators of this realm now comes to Kotoka International Airport, not via a canoe, but an aeroplane.
You're not worried about the allegation by the Attorney General that your client tried to swindle authorities by confusing his whereabouts?
He is rather probably confused. But I don't see any sane man who is being chased by national security or security forces, and then all that he does is to come into the space where he can be arrested. You understand the people who are trying to run away from justice? They don't show up. They are in foreign climes. Who will buy a ticket that, oh, I'm coming to be arrested? Let's be real. These are the kind of things that if you can, you get your own, choreographed press conference, so journalists will not critique the rationality of what we are saying. It will pass.
I know we are not talking about the former finance minister, but I don't know, when you mentioned the bit that those who are trying to run away from justice, they will not even show up. Are you trying to bring
No, I'm not casting any insinuations at all. And I'm not intimating that that's him. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that if you want to rationalize a scenario of a man who knows that is being pursued by the security forces, and then he's using air tickets to confuse them. The self-same man who is trying to hide his itinerary from Yoko or whatever institution comes to Ghana through the Kotoka International Airport. Does that not sound absurd to you? Why would he do that?
I'm on fire, the other side of the conversation. Now, this is why I am likely to make us believe can that I do attach some now can as a margin ya caucus ye Kobne du Boahen no the National Signals Bureau no ne boss in the National Security Architecture kandapa. Yeni ssrèak kandapa National Security Minister for 8 years. Omokoto software no who on the National Security Council approved the software. One, when payments were made, are we saying said the national security boss Kandapa didn't know anything about or anybody on the National Security Council, including the president? Nobody knew about it. 3, are we saying said from 2018, according to the fact of the Attorney General, Adia Brandt now or 27 houses, or be companies, or movie sika, or near Baba friend Mildred, any idea. Nobody in the National Security Architecture knew this. Is that what we are saying? Again, what's ye attach ye pana? As a person say, I didn't na kandapa hubi. As the National Security boss, you just say to Amanda Apuzo, our multimedia. Apuzo so under General Manager Jimmy Agla. Jimmy Agla under Kenansa CEO. Kenansa under Kwesichum, who is the CEO or the owner of the business. It is a meeting someone media. All these layers of people didn't know. And I say you're charging one more maybe Attorney General because as I read the facts of the case as president, me who Kandapa di. So I believe say Kandapa as the boss of the national security must also answer some questions. That is my view. The more I listen to Atacha, the more I'm tempted to as what can be. Yes, for what time Atacha don't change. Listen to the audio. Go back, no play. No samba with him. Listen to him carefully. Why are we not also questioning the likes of Atacha Kandapa and the other National Security Council bosses? Because the National Security Council to me translates because the entire National Security Architecture. So there may be collusion. Say nipa we yakabomzi enye bibi.